Hello. Today I would like to talk about something I've seen a couple of times, scattered all over the internet. And that is, why did Luke not have nearly as much difficulty resisting the dark side, unlike his father, Anakin? Well, there are so many factors that play into it. However, I feel it comes down to mainly a few. Firstly, I want to give reasonable arguments for why both of them would have turned, starting with Luke. During Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker wanted to end the war and be with his father, and when the Battle of Endor took place, many of Luke's friends were in danger. Meanwhile, he could stop the Emperor from fulfilling his ultimate plans if he had just listened to both Sith Lords to join the dark side. And while this was very tempting because it was a decent way to end the war, he did not give in. However, once Vader mentioned Luke's sister, Leia, I feel that broke something in him, which almost made him turn. This is the exact scene where he charges at Vader aggressively and chops off his hand. However, despite many temptations to end the war and protect his friends and family at any cost, this was all in a quick fashion. So it was easy to avoid the conflict building inside him at first. However, if we suppose that the Emperor would have survived the Battle of Yavin, then I believe it's a possibility that Luke could have turned eventually. Now, let me examine Anakin. There may be some bias here, being that Anakin's my favorite fictional character. But I believe that Anakin's fall was far more tragic. Let me explain why. When Anakin was born, he grew up as a slave. He never got to own much, and he lived on a desert planet working tirelessly each day. When he was the age of 9, a Jedi by the name of Qui-Gon Jinn visited his home and wanted to give him a better life as a Jedi. Then, the only person he really knew after leaving Coruscant died, and he was left with no one besides Obi-Wan. During his teenage years, after not seeing his mother for years, he returned to Tatooine and found her suffering at the hands of Sand People. After this, he finally gets to have a happy moment by marrying Padme. Side note: their wedding scene was one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars, probably top 3, anyway. After they wed, Anakin is forced into war and can barely see his wife. By the end of the war, after not seeing his wife for months, returns to her side and finds out she's pregnant. However, soon later gets dreams of her dying. He's already lost everything, and the Jedi refuse to help him without ruining their lives. So just when he thinks it's too late, Palpatine offers him a way to save her, but can only be unlocked through the dark side. With a ton of manipulation throughout the movie, Anakin finally gives in and betrays the Jedi Order. The rest is history, to me, just by this quick examination. I believe that Anakin's fall was much more tempting because he had a lot at stake, and at a much more stretched out time frame, and because his life was awful. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Or do you think there's a different reason why Anakin's fall was more tempting than Luke's? That's about it. See ya.